Whoa, whoa. She blessed me with that black girl magic. Yeah, yeah. She blessed me with that black girl magic.
Okay.
Whoa, whoa. Black girl magic. Yeah, yeah. You know that you got it. Whoa, whoa. Every time you step in the room. Yes, indeed. Woo. Everybody feeling on shoe. Yeah, yeah, on shoe. Hey. Black girl magic. Black girl magic. Hey.
We out here in Oakland. Blessings are now, beautiful people. Today we headed to San Francisco for the 10th annual Rafiki Black Health and Healing Summit. And I'm blessed to be out here with my brothers from the Determination Black Men's Group. And we're about to go see what's up. Not only are we helping organize it, but we also gonna get a chance to perform. Health and healing. What is the art of health and healing? What role does art play in your health? Better yet, what role does art play in the healing of not only yourself, but your family and friends, your community, and your organizations? Journey with us as we go check it out. I'm Wolfhawk Jaguar. This is Journey to Radiance, the art of health and healing. Come on. The journey. The journey. The journey. The journey. The journey.
Journey to radiance, 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 journey to radiance.
There's a long road between surviving and living. It's equal to the distance between resilience and radiance. To leave trauma and the hardship of merely surviving day to day, to take the journey to radiance where thriving is possible, one must prepare for the trip. Some things must be left behind, and some things must be discovered. Art and culture are the roadmap for the journey. What a culture creates reflects the foundation for understanding its journey. Culture is a blueprint that signifies a people have learned how to live. Art is medicine, a sign of forward movement, an articulation of lived reality and an altar large enough to hold aspirations for the future.
Remember to take a deep breath.
I'm here in San Francisco at Rafiki Wellness. It's just such a critical time, right, that we're in. It's so much trauma, it's so much hurt, it's so much pain. But what Rafiki Wellness is doing is truly allowing us to celebrate in the midst of this, right? While we're celebrating in the midst of our healing, to celebrate in the midst of the trauma, in the midst of it all. When some people are like, how can you celebrate during those times? Well, see, from New Orleans, you know, we second line. This is how we get through trying times, how we get through, you know, the trauma, how we get through the pain, right? So what Rafiki Wellness has done with this summit, aside from educating, aside from giving us breathing techniques, good food, right? Togetherness is coming also so that we're able to celebrate in the midst of this, that, listen, there's so much that we can look forward to because it's truly a reminder of the importance of intuition, the importance of imagination, and how those are not only needed, but appropriate tools, right, for our wellness and for our healings.
To me, the idea of being at Rafiki is reclaiming roots, is reclaiming the spirit of who we are, where we come from, and what that means in our life.
Everybody has their calling, and I truly think that this calling of music, or what I call medicinal music, you know, musical medication, you dig what I'm saying? That's what I call it. But know what you're doing, be true to your trade, and it's a pass down of information from one who knew it before we did.
Know the culture.
So it's
Respect
our
it.
responsibility to pass it down again to the next being who's gonna then pass it down, so forth and so on, you know. So we want to try to give it as righteously as possible, as righteous as we received it. We gonna give it that, you know, in that manner. And we ain't playing with it. We playing it. We having fun with it, but we ain't playing around with it. We really serious about our trade, our genre of music, and where we come from. The lineage line between these two men right here that you see is very strong.
We gotta change the narrative of the things that we like to outlet ourselves from: music, art. These things are outlets, and we need to use them as positive outlets instead of, you know, like negative outlets, which is a lot what we do in our culture. We use a lot of these art and health things, and we use them in counterintuitive ways. This summit right here, this summit is flipped the paradigm, it's flipped the narrative. So now we get to make music about things like this and feel good about it instead of it feeling like a cliche or like, you know, something that ain't supposed to happen but happen. This is supposed to happen, so it's happening. You know what I mean?
Focus on having a safe space and healing space, and spread healing practices amongst each other and the different organizations that are here. Because one of the things that we need the most in the Black community is healing. You know, we go through a lot of trauma, we go through a lot of pain just existing in the world here in America, and to get past the problems in health, of incarceration, of you know, problems that we face in society, we need a safe space to heal, and we need to make sure that we share best practices with each other.
You know, coming from the environment that we come from, it's a way to keep focused on something that is holistically positive. It's about, you know, the more you write as a poet, as someone who loves to write rhymes, I have to keep my mind sharp. In order to do that, I have to be aware of what's going on in the world. So from the studying, I was able to keep my mind active, and that keeps my mind healthy. Within that study, you also learn about, you know, meditation and spirituality and different practices of spirituality and how to apply it to our life, or to my life. And so as I've grown in my spiritual studies, as I've learned meditation, as I started doing Qigong and these different practices, it starts to fuse into my art.
Hi, I'm Dr. Phil with Journey to Radiance, and this is your health and healing moment. I am so excited because I am in San Francisco at the Rafiki Coalition, and I am about to get a free massage. I'm super excited about this. You know, massage is really great for injury prevention and recovery, and also for helping to heal and relax the body. So I'm about to go right now. I'll see you on the other side. A lot of people think chiropractic is about cracking the joints. We're not cracking the joints per se. What we're doing is readjusting the body so that the spine is aligned and the energy can flow freely.
You and the creator are one. You know, you and the master are one. Therefore, you create masterpieces. You know what I'm saying? So we have to continue to bring that thought up, you know, so that it moves from our feet all the way on up, and that we're able to, you know, bring it out to our people in the best way.
Events like this are important because it counters that. It allows us to be able to, you know, reclaim our health, which is the most important thing. Our health, cleanliness is godliness. So to be healthy is to be, you know, in tune with that source, that creative source, and be able to be a creator.
And I would just add on to that and say that us having it in this year, in this time in particular, is also vital because the sickness that we as Black people have adopted is generational, and it's something that's passed down. So like us as the 5th or 6th generation of whoever, now we're inheriting the lack of health from our parents, our grandparents, our great-great-grandparents, all the way through. So to have something like this is important now because we don't have things like this, and people are dealing with generational trauma, generational illness.
With great power comes great responsibility. Why would we not use our gifts to heal? And it's not necessarily like, okay, we want to go save the world. That's a part of it. But our music is a reflection of our self journeys, our personal journeys, and us healing ourselves.
So as Black folks, if we want to heal, we can heal through energizing and loving ourselves and then spreading that love. It does not have to be I'm wearing myself down. So have a conversation with yourself about that, right? And maybe hit the reset button in your mind and see what that looks like. When you check in with the truest part of yourself, there's never going to be I got to abuse myself to help this person. I got to give to the point I'm about to drop to help. No.
Interestingly enough, what makes me well is helping you be well, right? And a lot of people don't realize that there's a direct benefit. Sometimes you're working to try to get yourself somewhere, and in fact, when you stop looking at you and start looking at someone else and helping someone else, selfless service, you get what you need. You know, all of that is sometimes people are thinking, well, I need this and I need that. And I said, but you know, sometimes you need to stop looking at you. It's not about you. And you'll find that everything comes to you when you stop directing all the attention at yourself. I believe that every child should learn to give selflessly with no intent of anything in return. To literally give selflessly. I think children need to be taught that very young. You're giving because there's a need, period. Not because you're going to get anything. Now, ultimately, they do, and they learn that there's a reward from giving, and it's not always a material reward. You know, it's a spiritual reward. You know, it's a moral, an intellectual reward, something you can't even imagine. But I believe that this is something that needs to be taught because it's almost like looked at as a burden. Oh, I got to do something for It's not a burden, though. It should be something you joyfully do.
We are surrounded by cultural signifiers, the narratives that carry and shape our reality. We can sit at the table set for us and be molded by the narratives of our inadequacies, or we can rise above the tide by the creation of art that creates a space to contemplate other realities. By taking control of our own story in art, we create the road for our continued journey to radiance. The inherent powers of being creators is that we create not only the path on which we travel, we actively craft the legend of rising to meet and answer the challenges we face. I'm Wolfhawk Jaguar, and this is Journey to Radiance.